Hey everybody, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and today is Sunday, and it is the 16th of November. So, what do we got for you today? Well, not much. Okay, that's it. Astrology time's over. Get back to doing what we're doing. That's not true, okay? There may not be a lot going on during the day, for the day, but this is what we call a focused moon. So we have no aspects with the moon whatsoever. There are no planetary aspects either that are direct, okay? Now remember that everything still is, there's no lines out there. There's no hard, that's why we use the whole signs for the house system, because there's no boundaries out there. There's no lines on the earth except for ley lines if you count those. But, there's nothing that really dictates that, this is when this starts definitely, and this is when this ends definitely. There's no hard, fast stop dates to that. We do have where they perfect, and that's kind of interesting. So we do have some aspects that are ongoing. However, we do have one that is perfecting today, and that it will perfect at 12:08. So we are very much under the influence of a Sun Jupiter trine. Now, a trine is 120 degrees, and it's the most beneficial angle that you can get. And Jupiter being one of the major benefics, as well as, it is the major benefic, and then Venus is considered to be the minor benefic, according to the old guys, right? Ptolemies and stuff like that, the older astrologers. So this is a very positive aspect, even with Jupiter retrograde, because we're able to look at what we're doing around our house, how we're getting ready for the holiday. Put it that way, right? It's good timing, right? And what we're doing as far as to, prepare and get ourselves ready, because we're getting ready for something even bigger, though, because we do have bigger cycles within cycles that we're experiencing. Mercury is going back and looking at how we're communicating and doing our, conducting business, our mercantile sensibilities, communication, navigation, the senses, sensory stuff, whatever it is that we're doing, we're revising that, we're reviewing that, we're going back through it, back over it, and we're actually able to come up with better ideas as a result. Same thing with the Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. It extends Jupiter's sign and Jupiter's time in the sign of his exaltation. All right. So exaltation means that the planet is the happiest there, right? So Jupiter is happy, happy, happy in Cancer. And the sun encounters that happy Jupiter going backwards. Now, not a bad thing, right? What are we reviewing with Jupiter? Well, we're reviewing our plans for expansion, just how optimistic we are. It's considered to be a planet of good fortune. It's also of rules, regulations, the law. There's other things that Jupiter is associated with. So what you really want to make sure of, though, is that expansive outward look, right? We start to come back a little bit inside. And with Saturn sitting in Pisces, that's another deep dive, right? We're really diving deep, because think about it. We have Neptune in Pisces, and we have Saturn. Saturn's also in Pisces. They're just about conjunct. North Node's in Pisces, and we have Jupiter in another water sign, and that would be Cancer. Now, next year, this is all going to shift, because all those outer planets and Jupiter himself will all be shifting. Jupiter will go into Leo. We'll have Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and we will have Uranus returning to Gemini. So air signs are going to dominate. Air and fire will be dominant next year as far as the outer planets are concerned. We'll have Mars in Sagittarius, which will be interesting, because that's a fiery aspect too. That's mutable fire. And Venus will be just chugging along, because Venus and Mercury just kind of chug. Venus is actually going to be in the lead, and we'll be seeing another petal forming very soon. Remember, 8-year cycle for Venus. If you didn't see that whole series on that, it's worth looking up on YouTube. I may very well link it into the bio descriptions down below. Okay, so, and it was only available on YouTube because it ran really long, okay? If I put them on TikTok, I try to break them up into 2 parts. And sometimes that hurts my the penetration and reach that the various aspects have, because it seems like 2 seems to be the max that they like. Unless I say something whack, or I wear something crazy, or maybe use a stupid filter or something like that. I would get more than, say, like 500 views, but I'm pretty happy with the 500 views that I do get. So, rambling on about that stuff, let's talk about this. This is a great day to make a protective talisman. Well, if I were Beth, that's what I would do. Or anybody else that's handy with those kind of craft things. They would harness both the Scorpio and Jupiter and Cancer energy. Okay, so Scorpio energy for where the sun's at, and Jupiter and Cancer energy, so the Cancerian energy. Watery, definitely watery. We're able to slow things down and look at the big picture today. Big picture stuff, right? And we're going to be doing this for quite a long time. So, Mars is moving forward in Sagittarius and doing so in a rather guarded nature, because the ruler of Sagittarius is retrograde Jupiter in Cancer. So we're happy, we're expansive, but that heightens that defensive aspect of Cancer, right? So we've got to protect ourselves as we move forward, and we're gonna gather security to us, and we do that by making sure that we are financially stable and secure. That's what this whole manifestation's been since summertime, right? The sun in Scorpio. Well, the sun's in Scorpio. It's true. Now we've got another manifestation coming out for Yuletide for the sun in Capricorn. So, and that's where we're looking to bolster everything, including side hustles, right? That would be good for you guys. Now, the next 5 months or so will be unbelievably productive for us personally if we allow ourselves to get lost in the moment, right? We master it, and we ride the flow like a surfer with balance and poise. And that's what today's focused moon is telling us to do, okay? So, look at that. Okay, I'm out of order. All right, so look, the moon in Libra, that could mean anything. It's for highlighting partnerships as insignificant others. It's also good for any agreeable activity that you just feel like is balanced and makes you feel good. You look good doing it. You're enjoying life. And we're renewing that sense of harmony, balance, and just overall just appreciation for what it is that we have and what it is that we're coming into. That started yesterday, because we started restoring some of that equilibrium after that kind of frantic moon in Virgo. And the improvements at the home base, they're going to continue. Now, get ready to get productive, because the sun in Scorpio really means business. And we have a few short days to really dig deep and make sure we hit all the right buttons. And today's keyword is big picture. Now, the color is a hazy blue. There's aspects with the moon that leave us emotionally unencumbered, okay? That's no aspects, right? We don't have any dogs in the game. We're not really emotional, right? The number 111 is still popping up all over the place. So we can appreciate things for what they are, and we can look and put our desires forward and go in the directions that we're guided towards. Now, for me, I may very well do a show on the new moon in Scorpio, and perhaps even the Sagittarius season. I do like to do those. That's a big expansion of my astrological offerings. And with an eye towards the expansion of these channels, I have a question. Okay, so I'm thinking about expanding my reach a little bit. What time should I consider doing a live event on TikTok? And what about on YouTube? And if I went live weekly, what day and time would you be most likely to watch and participate? Leave me comments if you're interested. If you're like, Shane, you're out of your mind. You can't even speak tonight, which is true. It's just like, there's no reason for it. It's just sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. Mercury's retrograde. So, hey, it's going to be a little harder for me to come up with some words that make sense, right? Me speak good, right? So I'm not promising anything for tonight, but what I'm going to be working on later, the next day, is to get more content out there, right? And I just want to make sure that I'm doing the most I can. For all of you, enjoy the coming holiday season. It's a very auspicious place to give our creative efforts a significant boost. That is true. So whatever it is that you're doing that's creative, you're going to be able to do that. Particularly your ongoing projects, they're going to get a little bit of a boost come that new moon, right? And we'll get into that for the show. Now, let me know exactly what you're doing in the comments, okay? Just let me know. I like reading the comments. I love the ones about the numbers, guys. I got to tell you, that was fantastic. I didn't get a chance to respond to hardly any of them. I did happen to like them all, and I'm going to go back and respond to them probably at some point, if not later on after I get done with this, maybe tomorrow, okay? But I will get back to everybody. Okay, so our event is in 2003. A 16-year-old, if you were ever wondering, right, 2003, 16 years old, Lionel Messi makes his official debut for FC Barcelona when he comes on as a substitute in a friendly against Porto. Okay, so now you know how long Messi's been around, right? He's considered to be one of the greatest players of all time. Got his start in 2003 at the age of 16. And our birth is W.C. Handy. Now, W.C. Handy was born in 1873. He's an American composer and musician known as the father of the blues. He wrote the Memphis Blues and the St. Louis Blues. He was born in Florence, Alabama, and rightfully famous, right? And he died in 1958, and that's all we have for you. Happy birthday, W.C. Handy. And Lionel Messi, yep, that's quite the stretch of his career, right? From 2003 till today, considered to be one of the greatest players in the world. And that is all we have for you, and that's football, right? Yes, soccer for you American folks, football. All right, so keyword is big picture. The color is hazy blue. And for Mercury retrograde today's a 7. Happy astrocatting.